Well, I don't remember exactly how much years I have, but
What do you
well, I think I have 34 and I go for 35 in one short time because now in December is my birthday. So yes, I start to pass the 30, 35. It's new age, new time.
Where are you from?
I'm from Argentina, from Buenos Aires, and now I live in Krakow, in Poland.
Okay, and how did you start learning tango? When did tango came to your life?
Yes, that is fun, I think, a little bit, because the connection is strange. I work in one school for office, where the people come learning about how work the wood, the gas, the electricity. And my boss, he come to the idea to organize one milonga in the month, because we need some money for travel from another province in Argentina for help another school. And nobody know nothing about tango in my school, just my boss and another person more. But he said we have experience about, we go sometimes to dance, to milonga, so we can meet somebody more for organize that. But we think it's a good idea to start, because we have all the elements in the school for make it. We have course to how prepare food, how service the people, many gastronomic things, and all the stuff for make something really good. Big place, tables, I don't know, all what we need for one milonga.
Mm-hmm.
So after that we start organize. So I start to be first organizer, and after I start to dance. That was almost for 1 year. I don't dance tango, but I was organizer to one milonga for almost 1 year. That was like 10 years ago, or a little bit more. Yeah.
And so when did you decide to teach tango?
Well, that is another crazy idea, because I tried to make it to teach in a very short time. That was one mistake, because really mistake, yes, because I don't have too much material for teach in that moment. I was working in education for many years, so about that all was perfect. I really know how speak for the groups, how talk and transmit ideas, but I don't have tango material for that. And of course, in 1 or 2 classes I understand that, so I stopped. But it was like, oh, okay, I'm almost a teacher, I really know that, I can teach for beginners, but no was a good idea. So my real dedication started after 4 years to dance.
After 4 years
To take lessons, yes, but real dedication. When I say, okay, I really want to make that serious, like professional. I think the first teacher, what I start to follow him, because I take lessons with many people. But my first teacher for follow was Bruno Tommari. And Maria Ángeles Camaño in that time. I really go to his regular classes, and that was my first to follow. And Horacio Godoy, he was another. And after a while, I take one lesson with one, another lesson with another. But the more influence, I think, in that time was Bruno and Horacio. Bruno Turmari and Horacio.
Who is a good teacher of tango?
Yes, I think that the best teacher for me is that person will teach how create your moves, how really dance, how communicate, how receive the information and how you give the information. What I say that because I know many teachers create the steps, give the steps, and teach the steps for the people. So after some process, the people know many steps, but the people don't know how dance. And for me, it's a little bit one exit, something really good when I finish the class and the people don't remember what sequence we work, because the sequence or the steps is the less important thing. The important thing is all the elements we work for make it. So in the end, if you can say me, yes, we work the dissociation, we work in the balance, we work in the axis. Okay, in that case, this is the more amazing thing. But if you say me, yes, we work the basic steps, or we work the cross. No, because we don't work the cross. We use the cross for work the lead, for work the position to our chest, the dissociation, I don't know, many things. And we use the cross for that.
What tango means to you?
For me, it's the freedom. When I dance, I feel complete freedom. I know in that place, in another fantastic world. So if I need to find just one word for define tango, is freedom.
Okay, and what is a good tanguero?
Good tanguero, like the person will respect some rules. I think good tanguero is that person will understand the tango like social, like the real tango is social. So if you respect and you feel that, when you dance in the floor in the milonga, you dance with all the rest of the people. You don't dance alone. So that for me is the first and the basic for being one real good tanguero. The person with respect and feel like it's not alone in the floor, because sometimes people take the milonga like one stage, one moment for show yourself, and it's not important in what direction you go, and just the person's dance with his couple and nothing more. It's not important what happened in the or if you crash somebody or you hit somebody with some move or something. That is the base. And after another rules, but if you respect that and you understand the tango like social, I think you are the tanguero.
And who is a good tanguera?
Good tanguera. The girl with can wait and at the same time can communicate like she wants to dance with you. That is a perfect tanguera, because the social point is about the connection. I feel bad if I need to go to invite you for dance. If you see me and I see you and we can meet in that middle to connection, in that connection is enough. I don't like to go to ask you because it's some pressure, extra pressure for you. Like okay, he come here. I need to say yes, but maybe you don't want. It's one extra pressure, and I feel the same when some girl come to ask me, because if you see me and you see like, okay, I see for another side, it's because I don't want to dance, and it's enough. It's good for you because you don't feel like, no, I don't want to dance with you or something, And it's good for me because I don't need to say no. It's good communication. I think the view make good tangueras if you want to. Two friends, one couple from Poland, amazing dancers and teachers, go to Buenos for 5 years ago, and I meet that couple in Buenos Aires. We start to go to milongas together, and I dance with her, with Kasia. In the milonga, I start to speak with Timon. So after, before come back to Poland, Timon and Kasia asked me for come to work, my first work in Europe, and directly to Poland. So after some years, when I have the opportunity to come back, I come back to Poland and to Krakow. That was a little bit the history.
And your first show?
In Poland or
generally?
My first show, I think, was in the school in the milonga what organized at that time, in la milonga de Artigas. Was with one amazing dancer. She don't know it, like that was my first time, and was a beautiful experience. I think in opposite, like many people think, I really feel motivated when another people see me. I don't have pressure about the public or something. It's more motivated.
Motivation.
Yeah, maybe if I have one or two person, I feel more nervous because it's like more personal. But with many people, and I love the attention. I love when the people can stop to just for see me. That is motivating for me.
And do you have plans to travel in Europe to teach, or you are now thinking only of staying in Poland?
Well, I like both things. I really want to travel, but at the same time I love to have the regular classes because I like the process. In one workshop or something in weekend, is good because you meet new people, you move, you transmit more massive your ideas about tango. But in the regular classes, you really are influenced for the tango to the people, or in the process. I like that. I like see how the people go on.
Okay. So can you describe what is cabeceo? How do you see cabeceo in Argentine environment and in Polish environment? What is the difference? And do we have a good cabeceo? Do we have it at all?
Well, that is really difficult, but it's difficult in Europe in general. It's not just a Poland problem. The people don't have that visual contact. And sometimes the people just speak with another person and don't have any connection with what happened in Derredor, so you can pass a half night to try to dance with some girl and never happen. Because or the girl is here in the table, or she have the phone, or she speak with another girl and never check what happened in Derredor. In Argentina we can speak, I think, but I have connection with what happened. If I'm here and I want to dance, no? So I speak with you, but at the same time I open to see what happened in Derredor, around me. So that is the first difference about the contact view contact. Here is almost inexistent that without one normal conversation. Of course, if you speak with the people, that is normal, but knowing the distance, nobody see you directly to your eyes in the distance, no? So I think we need to start to understand why exists the cabeceo, because maybe the people in general don't know. Nobody learning about. Nobody teach about why exists the cabeceo. And the cabeceo is very important for two social things, for the exposition and because nobody wants to be in exposition to the rest of the people when somebody make one negative answer. You know, so that is bad for the guera and it's bad for the guys. I don't like when somebody says me no. So I don't want to push the people in the place to say me no, because it's normal. Nobody is in obligation because the guy come to you to ask you, or because the person is good dancer, or because he's bad dancer, but you need because it's social and you beat the milonga. Don't exist that. The girl and the man can say no, whatever, and nothing happen. But it's a good idea if we had some communication before, and it's not necessary more. Just with 2 seconds to view, to see the guy or the girl, you know what happened. You know? So of course exists a person that need glasses or something. So yeah, but that in the time you start to know the people, because that is another characteristic in tango. You pass a lot of time with the same people, and you can go to milongas, big milongas, also in Buenos Aires too, when you have I don't know, 300, 400 people, and you know everybody. Maybe you don't know the name, maybe you don't know exactly from where is that people, but for sure, if you go to the street in Buenos, and you know that person is tanguero, because you see 1, 2, or 3 times in the milonga, always you meet the people, and more in Europe. In Europe, you really know the people because it's less number, no? So of course, if you know that somebody needs glasses, or after one time, like trying to make the cabeceo, 1 milonga, 2 milongas, in one moment you ask, what happened? You would like to dance with me, or no? Because the problem is I don't see too much. So please, if you want to dance with me, come to the table to ask me for dance. Okay, in that case it's different because we had one deal before. You know?
So if somebody refuses you with the cabeceo, for instance, do you offend, or do you try again on different milonga? Or should you take it personally, this person will...
No, of course, nobody needs to say always yes. And maybe you dance like 3 tandas together before I ask you, so in that moment you feel pain in your feet. I don't know, many things. It's not personal. I think if you say me no 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 3 times is too much coincidence. But after that, of course, I stop to ask, because yes, I start to feel like, okay, you don't want to dance with me, but without that, it's no problem.
Okay.
Well, actually, never is a problem, no? Yeah. But just I see like you don't want to dance with me, so I stop to ask. I think the tango is in really relation with the city and the people, you know? For me, that is the reason, because the tango is very different in all the world, and it's unique in Buenos, and it's unique in Poland, but different. It's unique in Germany, but different. Different like Buenos, of course, because the city have different moods, the people have different tradition. I don't know. All is different about that. So. If you ask me if the people in Buenos dance better, I don't say the people dance better. The people dance like the people in Buenos. The word choice, the aesthetic to the people from Buenos, like the more beautiful. That is true. Because it's one general choice. But for sure, it's not about better or not. It's about how the people dance in Buenos, because the people have one connection with the city, with our world, with our problems, with all our scenes. You know, that make different. No, it's not another scene. The tango is in every part of our city. You can walk in the night and you can listen some melody in some place. Of course, it's no tango, but you can feel the tango, and that is the relation, the city live tango. No, here the people maybe have much high level, I think, like Krakow, but the Krakow people is more open.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody have good qualities. Warsaw, Krakow, different things.
What is a good DJ for you?
Oh, that is really good question, because exists 1 million DJs. For me, the best DJ is that DJ would have criteria for play the music. If I can't find the idea when I go to one milonga festival, marathon, whatever, it's because something is really strange. I think that is important. Like everybody can feel some line in the idea. After you can choose. No, of course the people is really different. So sometimes you like more romantic. The other person like more rhythmic. So in that case, never I make any opinion about it. But yes, about the criteria, how the DJ choose the music and why choose that music. Because many DJs say, well, I play the music like I like. That is my criteria. Okay, but you can't, for me, my idea, you can't mix, I don't know, like 3 instrumental and 1 with singer. It's no nice, or 2 rhythmic tangos and 2 romantic tangos. Because you start the tango with one idea, you choose some people for dance, one girl in relation with the music. You know, not everybody does the same. So if I play, the DJ plays something rhythmic, I'm looking for somebody with the characteristic for dance more faster. So if in the middle you change the energy to the tanda in the middle to one tanda, you really push me in one difficult situation. Or make 2 tangos and 1 vals, or 3 tangos and 1 vals, for example. I listen things like that. And, come on, I don't want to dance vals with her, because for that I looking for another girl. Or mix the orchestra in different, because maybe Darienzo and Biaggi was more close, but you can't mix because it's different. It's really different. So, well, the criteria, I think, the line. If you want DJ have 1 criteria, I respect that. Maybe I don't like the selection to the music, but I respect when the person had 1 idea for playing. And when the music cover all the energies. In that case, it's perfect. And the floor. The floor is first. The first and more important thing. After that, for me it's not important if the wall is humid or not, if the paint is good, if the roof is high or not. Nothing is more important like the floor.
Another question for Masud.
The more important question for Masud.
What is your style?
I really wish to have the fantastic ideas like another person. So, because in the last time I've been in Berlin, I meet one friend in common with Bruno, and she asked me, she told me the history about how Bruno find his style. And one day he come and say, Anya, you know, I don't dance tango salon. I dance tango salmon. So he find I really want to have something similar for show you what is my style. But if I need to find something, I'm milonguero because I really try to dance the same like in the milonga in one exhibition. Mm-hmm. So milonguero style, whatever you want to sing in that style. Because milonguero for me is live embrace when you can open, close. Of course, in the more part to one tango, I dance in close embrace. But I can open, I can close, I can make whatever I make in the milonga. In the past, milonguero was one style really clear. More hard style, apilado. But now, all of that changed because the people dance very different styles in the milonga. So if you can have that milonguero style, you are in one aesthetic, I think. And that is mine. I know tango salon, I don't dance tango nuevo, I dance milonguero. Yeah.
So who is your favorite dancer like from these stars?
In that moment, I think Arce is really good. But if I need to choose one couple, I really like Carlitos y Noelia. Carlitos, Noelia Hurtado.
And which style do they have?
Milonguero for sure. Yes, it's the more pure milonguero couple, Noelia and Carlitos.
So you like milonguero style?
Yes, I really like.
That was my point.
The first idea I think about is where is the more beautiful city for go to dance tango. If you ask me, is Paris. In Paris, you have people from all the world, and the level to dancing is almost like not like the same to Buenos. About the climb, about the milongas in general, the codes, many things similar. So if I need to choose one city for just for live and go to dance tango, it's the best city for me, the best place. And what happened in the future with tango, I don't know exactly. I see, for example, how the process was changed in that 4 years. I think before that time, also in the beginning when I come for first time to Europe, a little bit happened. Was you are Argentinian guy and all was perfect. You had work for sure, and that happened for many years, and I think that was really good because many people come without any idea to how teach, how dance, and make very bad things about the time. For example, that idea is really difficult work with Argentinian guys because always we go late. About our ego, like so big. And that was because the history, and it was true in some moment, but that really changed, and now it's really hard work. We have a lot of competition with the Europe teachers, so that is the new age. And I like that because now I really need to show like I good teacher, I good dancer. If that don't happen, of course, help a little bit like the Argentina, but you need to show how much you can be good. It's not like before. So I really like that. And what happened in the future, I don't know, but we had one problem, I think, about tango in the world, because our music is not so really popular, like for example salsa. That? Salsa you can dance in every city, every village, and you have many people always for the classes. So that make something really economy normal. You have many offer. You have many public, so that down the prices to the classes, because it's normal if I tango salsa teacher and I have 40 people in one class, I don't need to kill everybody with the prices, because I can make good price for the people, and that make the more and more and more always, you know, take more people. But for tango, it's really difficult because you have one class for maximum 20 people, you know, so of course the prices is more high and it's not popular and no more people come. Be honest. If you like it, show what? Show that. If you don't like it, you are uncomfortable for something, show that. If the lyric made you sad, be sad. If the lyric make you happy, be happy, but be honest. Don't try to show another thing like don't exist, because that is really possible touch in the middle to the couple. I really can feel when you don't be honest, and I think you can feel exactly the same for about me in a positive way.
Can you sing for us?
No, please. That's so bad in that. I really love to sing, and sometimes when I dance in the milonga with some girls and I have confidence, sometimes no. But always I sing a little bit. Some people think I am so bad, but really you want?
Yeah, because it was perfect.
Ok, one little part to Nido Gaucho. Luciendo su color de esperanza, viste el campo, su plumaje, el viento hace vibrar su cordaje en los campos y en la flor. Yo tengo mi ranchito en la loma donde cantan los zorzales. Margaritas y rosales han crecido para vos, porque un día será este nido gaucho de los dos.
Bravo!